Hi, I'm Dr. Gokul Kesavan. I'm today going to talk about stem cells, and the title of my talk is Stem Cells Basics and Application. These are the cover stories of Time magazine, where on the right you can see diseases like diabetes, heart diseases, and Parkinson's can be cured with stem cells. Now we are a decade away, and let's see what is possible to treat with stem cells and what are the challenges. Even today, stem cells continue to be a hot research topic. As you can see with three examples that I'm going to give, one is that over 200,000 publications per year come on stem cells. Two, that there are over 100,000 patents filed on stem cells and about 12,000 clinical trials are ongoing in the world. So before going into the details and see what can be treated with stem cells, let's define stem cells. Stem cells are defined by two properties. One, that they can self-renew, that means they can make copies of themselves. Two, that they have the potential to differentiate into any cell types in our body. This makes it a very attractive therapeutic potential. So the stem cells can be infused into patients and treat diseases. One fine example is with hematopoietic stem cells. These are a gold standard treatment where the hematopoietic stem cells are transplanted to patients having various blood disorders. So the stem cells can also be gene manipulated. But the biggest challenge though is, can we replicate the success with hematopoietic stem cells in other organs? So let's look at the different type of stem cells and what are the potential therapeutic challenges. All stem cells are not the same. That means they have variable potency. So for example here, the one cell staged embryo, the cell is called a totipotent cell because it has the potential to give rise to all cells in our body. But as the development proceeds, where it is in the blastocyst stage, the inner cell mass, the cells from there could differentiate to all cell types but not to the extra embryonic tissue. So that means that the potential is already restricted. As the embryo continue to develop, so this will become a fetus, and the fetus will have stem cells at different places like in the bone marrow or at the umbilical cord. On contrary, we can also isolate the inner cell mass and put it in a culture and make them into multiple stem cell population and differentiate them to neurons or muscle cells or fibroblasts and so on. A recent discovery from the Japanese researchers also identified that certain exogenous factors could be given to the cells and the reprogramming can be done where a terminally differentiated cells can be reprogrammed to a pluripotent stem cells. So as we can see, there are certain challenges though with stem cell therapy. I will discuss a few. One is the ethical issue associated with embryonic stem cells as these are derived from human embryos. Two, there is certain genetic instability when cells are cultured in vitro in dishes. So that is another problem. When we do like the reprogramming where it is the induced pluripotent stem cells, during that process there could be some unwanted mutations occurring. So this could also be a potential problem. And the biggest problem though is about the tumor formation where the pluripotent stem cells could have an uncontrolled cell division ending up as a tumor or cancer. The other problem though is the adult stem cells like the mesenchymal stem cells or stromal stem cells it's called. These cells have a very heterogeneous population of cells and the variation comes from the source. So some of the stems, pluripotent stem cells are already in clinical trials. So one example here in diabetes where the lost beta cells or the insulin producing beta cells are replenished by human embryonic stem cell derived cells. So these are under different phase of clinical trials in different countries and there are multiple studies going on. And the second example is about the vision loss where various ongoing clinical trials are trying to address if stem cells can cure blindness, various forms of blindness. And some other studies include like treating the heart diseases or treating spinal cord injuries and so on. So now I have given you an overview on on stem cells and what are the potentials and what are the challenges that we have, stay tuned for future videos where we would be covering origin and function of stem cells, where we can see the differences between embryonic versus adult stem cells. The second topic is the induced pluripotent stem cells, or iPSCs in short, and how are they used in current clinical applications. And then the mesenchymal stem or the stromal cells, these, as I mentioned, are heterogeneous population of stem cells and how they can be used in clinical therapy. So please stay tuned and thank you for your attention and look out for the future videos. Bye.